the genetic code and translation/protein synthesis. Here are some of the questions that we'll be addressing. What is the genetic code and how does it work? What are the key molecules and structures involved in protein synthesis? Describe the process of protein synthesis. I'm Mr. W from learn-biology.com, where we believe that if you're really going to learn AP Bio, you've got to interact and get feedback. That's what happens on learn-biology.com. We're so sure of that your subscription comes with a money-back guarantee. What is the genetic code? How do you read a genetic code chart? Use the code to translate AUG, GUC, AAG, GUU into protein. The genetic code is the code used by living things to translate nucleotide sequences into amino acid sequences. We've talked about how DNA makes RNA, makes protein. DNA to RNA is transcription. Now we're going to get from RNA to protein. In the genetic code, groups of 3 RNA nucleotides, so like for example AUG, GUC, they're called a codon and they code for 1 amino acid. Codon, code 1. The code is nearly universal. Nearly every living thing uses it in exactly this way. There are some minor exceptions. It's specific. Every codon can determine 1 amino acid, but it's redundant. There are synonymous codons. AUG, GUC, AAG, GUU codes for methionine, valine, lysine, valine. How did I do that? Here's how you use the code. AUG, this is the first nucleotide in the RNA codon. This is the second nucleotide in the RNA codon, and this is the third. So you work from the inside out. AUG codes for methionine. GUC codes for valine. AAG codes for lysine, and GUU codes for valine. So we can see how GUC and GUU are synonymous, and that's an important relationship. Often the first 2 nucleotides are more important than the third one, and ones that have the same 2 first nucleotides are often synonymous. Use the genetic code dictionary below to code out CUC, GAU, GCA, GUC, CGU. The code that we looked at on the previous slide is a circular code. I actually think it's easier to use, though you'll frequently see codes like this that are tabular. In this code, the first base is represented on this column, the second nucleotide base is represented over here, and the third is going to be one of these 4. Let's demonstrate how that's used. CUC is the first codon. C, U, and here's C, that codes for leucine. GAU, G is the first base, A is the second base, U codes for asparagine. GCA, G, C, A codes for alanine. GUC, G, U, C codes for valine. And CGU, C, G, U codes for arginine. Here you see all of the amino acids and their corresponding codons represented here. What's the big picture of translation? Who are the key players? mRNA is shown over here at G2. It contains the codons, this group over here, AUG, or this AUG, or this CCG, that specify the order of amino acids. Here are amino acids shown over here. The ribosome connects amino acids to create a polypeptide. Ribosome is represented as K, and what it does is it'll connect, for example, this amino acid, proline, to this growing chain of amino acids. A chain of amino acids is also referred to as a polypeptide. Remember, that's the first level of protein structure, the linear sequence of amino acids. tRNAs are shown over here at letter O. Here's a tRNA. And tRNAs bring amino acids, such as this one over here, to this ribosome mRNA complex. tRNAs have an anticodon, such as this over here, GGG, letter H, and an amino acid binding site over here. In the next slides, we'll put the entire process together step by step. What is the role of the ribosome in translation? What are the key parts of ribosomes to know? Ribosomes are general purpose protein factories. They can take any mRNA, which is what brings it information, and convert it into any sequence of amino acids. They're the enzymes that string together amino acids to form polypeptides, and they do that following the instructions in mRNA. They have a large and a small subunit, and they have 3 tRNA binding sites. The E is the exit site. That's where the tRNA that's given up its amino acid will leave from. The P site holds the polypeptide, and the new amino acid comes into the A site. Describe how translation protein synthesis begins. Processed mRNA, that means mRNA that's ready to be translated, that doesn't have any introns in it, leaves the nucleus. It'll leave through a nuclear pore. The small ribosomal subunit will bind with the mRNA and make its way over to the start codon, which is AUG. That's where translation begins. That small subunit then waits, quote unquote, for a tRNA with a matching anticodon to bind with the start codon. So this tRNA has the anticodon UAC, which complements AUG. This first tRNA is carrying the first amino acid, methionine. Then the large subunit binds with the small subunit. The ribosome is now complete, and that first tRNA with methionine is located in the ribosome's P site. That's the middle binding site. Are you asking yourself, how am I going to get a 4 or a 5 on the AP Bio exam? It's a good question because it's a hard test, but we have a plan for your success. Go to learn-biology.com, sign up for a free trial, and complete our interactive tutorials and interactive AP Bio exam reviews. We guarantee you a 4 or a 5 on the AP Bio exam. See you on learn-biology.com. Describe the elongation phase of translation. The next tRNA comes to the A site and it bears a new amino acid. Here it is. The ribosome then catalyzes a peptide bond between the P and A site amino acids. So here's a peptide bond that's forming between methionine and valine. Then the ribosome translocates. It moves over one more codon. So that means that a dipeptide is now hanging off the P site amino acid. The A site is empty, and there's a tRNA in the E site, but it's not connected to the polypeptide. It's not connected to any amino acid. Now what happens is that the tRNA that's in the E site exits. The new tRNA enters at the A site. The A site's empty over here. A new tRNA comes in. The ribosome is going to catalyze a bond between that new amino acid and the existing dipeptide. So there's going to be a tripeptide that's temporarily at the A site, but the process is going to continue. It will be another round of translocation, followed by exit, followed by another tRNA that's charged with an amino acid coming in, followed by another peptide bond happening. And that continues along the entire length of the mRNA. Describe the termination phase of translation. The ribosome gets to a stop codon. The stop codons in the genetic code have no corresponding tRNA. Instead, what they do is they code for a release factor. That's a protein that can bind with the stop codon and induce certain changes in the mRNA, tRNA, ribosome complex. And those changes cause the ribosome to dissociate and the polypeptide to be released. The only thing that needs to happen now is for this polypeptide to fold up into a functional protein. Translation is done. Want to learn more? Sign up for a free trial of the website that guarantees your AP Biology success, learn-biology.com, and and watch this next video.